FiyahKitteh.
And hello everybody, SlimKirby here. I almost forgot my name.
I was just gonna say, did you forget your name?
A little bit.
A little bit. Yay, welcome back to more E3 discussions.
Yes.
Specials, discussion, both works.
Mm-hmm.
This time, we're gonna talk about...
EA.
Sports.
It's in the game.
It's in the game, yeah.
Plus actual EA.
Yeah, just EA in general.
Mm-hmm.
This was about like 15 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Minus all the stuff, pre-stuff, I guess.
Yeah, it was not a lot. It was not very long.
Yes. So, they started off with the Chief Operating Officer, Peter Moore, who made a statement that is pretty good. He said, "It's truly a great year to be a gamer."
Aww.
I like it.
Yeah, I've only heard that phrase several million times in the last 15 years of being a gamer, but...
At E3?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good for recycling your own material.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so hey, I think the opening title is something you have to gush about.
Yes, quite a
Okay.
bit. They also did mention that they're making a lot of games for Xbox One and PS4, which, why wouldn't they? New generation.
And they kept focusing on the Frostbite 3 engine.
Yes, they focused a lot on the different engines and stuff they'd be using for their games. But anyway, the first title, which completely blew me away, is Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. I am a huge Plants vs. Zombies fan. I've loved this series. Well, it was only one game before, but it's becoming a series. There's also Plants vs. Zombies 2 coming to mobile in the summer. But this is an actual Plants vs. Zombies game in 3D. And it's one of the things they highlighted was a 4-player co-op survival mode where you take your individual plant. Each plant has unique attributes, and you take out lots and lots of waves of zombies. There's like one that's kind of like a healing class, the Sunflower, and others are more indirect combat based. It's really, really cool. You see a lot of the classic plants and classic zombies you love from the first game in 3D. It looks amazing, and I want it.
You totally forgot to mention in this whole friggin' orgasm here that John Pesci came in with a freaking zombie head. First day
yes.
First day we saw this dude with the zombie head comes in and everybody's like, woo!
Yes.
And they also said that it's first gonna come out for Xbox One and then Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, we had Brian Lindley and Justin Weeb talk about the game, and they kept saying it's not just gonna tickle your funny bone, it's gonna nod right off.
in classic zombie fashion.
Pretty much.
But yeah, it looks amazing. I don't know what you personally thought, which you can say in a minute here, but I just really liked it. I was impressed. It was definitely the highlight and a great opener. I really enjoyed it.
Well, I have Plants vs. Zombies on my Steam account actually, but I never actually installed it. Not until now. I still have plenty of other games to play. So,
Yeah.
but I did like the concept, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
What I noticed is that the usual Plants vs. Zombies games are 2D-ish, comic style, and this one was a third-person perspective where you can play as pea shooter, chomper, sunflower. They even have a cactus, and you have garlic drones, and God knows what else.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminded me of Team Fortress 2 a bit, or even League of Legends, because here there's waves and stuff, and then there was the boss wave with the disco zombie and whatnot, and the Gargantua. It was, I'm personally not so much a 3D person, actually. I usually just stick with the good old-fashioned 2D stuff, so it was interesting, but I don't know if it's gonna be more interesting to me, anyways, than the actual 2D versions of the game. Especially because I'm not exactly outplayed, as in, I didn't like play it to death or anything, so I still have ways to go before I'm like, I need something new here.
It's definitely a new direction for the game, and it's, again, just one of those things we'll have to see when it first comes out, but, from the gameplay they showed, it looks pretty straightforward. It looks like kind of a little fun, comic book-based shooter almost, and
it's cool that you can play with other people. That's definitely
I like that too.
So yeah.
Okay. So,
your Plant vs. Zombie 3D shooter thing.
Yeah.
Which is gonna gnaw off your funny bone.
Yeah. Oh, and the most important announcement was there's gonna be a Peggle too.
Yeah, he mentioned that. He mentioned that right before he left, and then he made a huge freaking jump and they played the little jingle and stuff, and then he left.
Yeah.
So. Yep, Peggle 2.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
It's a thing now.
Well, then we had. Do you want to say any more?
Do
you want to gush anymore?
I could gush for hours about that, but no, I think I'm done.
Okay. So next we had Titanfall, which we already talked about in our Xbox video, whatever.
Yeah, and basically it was more like inside developer commentary and stuff. It was more about that, but we didn't really see anything particularly new, I don't think.
Yeah, it was basically a little trailer with a little behind the scenes talk from the game developers. It's nothing that we didn't cover in the Microsoft video, really. If anything, they said even less.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I guess so. Okay, then we had a little, I don't want to say an intersection, but a little change of something here with FiyahKitteh, and he kept saying stuff like, gaming on consoles will never be the same again, and he focused on the Frostbite 3 engine and the EA Sports Ignite engine, and how they were able to get even more out of those engines than they thought they could, and all that stuff. And then that was just a little gushing moment.
Yeah, kind of a segue, I guess.
Yeah.
It's basically going to be about those engines from here on out.
Pretty much. For example, he announced that DICE is going to bring out the Star Wars Battlefront game. They made a little trailer, they didn't really say anything.
It was basically just like a 10-second clip where at the very end you see just a little Star Wars ship. I don't watch Star Wars, so I don't know the technical name. And then one of those huge freaking monster machine things stepping down, and that was Star Wars, and the whole crowd cheered because people love Star Wars apparently. So
they do.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't watch any Star something series either.
Yeah.
Star Wars, Stargate,
Trek.
You name it. So yeah, that's that. Then we had Marcus Nielsen, who announced Need for Speed Rivals.
Ooh. I'm actually I wouldn't say I'm a closet Need for Speed fan or anything like that, because I've really only played one game, Need for Speed Underground, and I really love that game. I haven't actually made any efforts to get any of the newer versions since then, but with what they showed for Need for Speed Rivals, I was actually pretty impressed. They're introducing a drivers versus cops mechanic where two gamers can take on one of the two roles. You can be a driver and be racing, and all of a sudden the other player can join in as a cop and try to stop you or prevent you from winning or something like that. I thought it was a really kind of creative idea. You could also, if you had the kind of a touch screen pad or something, you can actually control a helicopter too that will also get in the action. So they kind of talked quite a bit about that whole gimmick mechanic, whatever you want to call it, and it looks pretty interesting.
I think we need to mention here that he specifically said it's an online-only game.
Oh, okay.
And they have this all-drive thing, which basically destroys the lines between single and multiplayer. It's when they did an actual session on stage, he said specifically that it starts out as a single-player session, but it turns into a multiplayer thing.
Yeah.
Because I quote, the screens will melt into one.
Mm-hmm.
Both individual screens will melt into one. And they even announced they had Aaron Paul coming up at the end of this little segment, who is apparently the Need for Speed movie star, and they announced an actual Need for Speed movie. It comes out in spring 2014.
Mm-hmm.
They gave a little behind the scenes. So basically, first they showed the game and announced all these little things, and then they showed that there's a movie coming out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, once again, this is tied to those engines they mentioned.
Yeah.
That's pretty much why. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else about Need for Speed?
No, that's about it.
It was
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty compact though.
Yeah.
So then they had Aaron Flynn announcing Dragon Age Inquisition that comes out in fall 2014,
Mm-hmm.
which was labeled, and I quote again, the next generation of RPG. Personally, when I looked at the trailer, it was kind of weird a little bit because the humans, like the people, their skin seemed like it had a weird wax cover or something. It was awkward a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed.
Awkward, waxy skin.
That's what I noticed anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But the trailer wasn't super long, really.
No.
It didn't show. They didn't say anything really. They didn't show a whole lot. So that's all we got.
Now, when they talk about RPG, are they talking about like the traditional role-playing Final Fantasy, or just the fact that you're playing a role? Like,
I have no idea.
because I didn't see really any RPG elements necessarily.
Yeah, they didn't show any in-game stuff really.
Yeah, they just kind of showed like a bunch of like cutscene stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. It was like a cutscene or something.
Yeah, I unfortunately don't know too much about the Dragon Age series, so.
Me neither.
So. But for all you Dragon Age fans, there you go.
Yep. Ooh, then we had the obligatory EA Sports segment, right?
Yep, it's in the game.
Because it's in the game. And we had Andrew Wilson coming up talking about the EA Sports Ignite engine, actually.
Mm-hmm.
They basically added some features to that. There's human intelligence. Basically, it was all about making your opponents feel like actual people, like actual human people, not just like computers.
Yeah.
They had living worlds. They mentioned living worlds. It's basically that the fan base is actually, you feel like you're in a stadium and all that. It was, to sum it up, the whole EA Sports segment was all about making it more real and making it feel like it's more realistic and like you're actually playing with people, you know.
And that's pretty much it. That's like what all the games really focused on.
Pretty much.
The first one was NBA Live 2014, and one of their biggest things was that they're kind of adding the whole dribbling and ball as another dimension inside the game. So it's like, okay, it's you, the player, your opposition, and the ball.
Yeah, they first had a little trailer playing, and what I remember most from that trailer is they had a somebody comment over it, and what he said most was release. And I'm like, okay, that's what I'm taking away from this.
Yeah, so
they had Sean O'Brien coming in with Kitteh Irving, or Kitteh is more of like the Japanese pronunciation, whatever. He's an NBA All-Star in any case. And they introduced Bounce Tech, which basically allows for, more awesome dribbling, more realistic dribbling, and it's all very fluid. And now there's more, there's no more, your hands stuck to the ball as it used to be in other games. It's really, they focus on that dribbling, really.
Yeah, they really do. That's what the whole thing basically was.
Because release. All right.
Okay.
This is for NBA Live 14.
And then they went over Madden NFL, which they're not calling them by their years anymore. It's Madden NFL 25, which I'm guessing is the 25th edition to the series or something.
Maybe.
That's my guess, because it showed 1989 for the first year or something.
Yep,
so.
89 to this date.
Yep, so that's what they're calling the new Madden title. And basically same kind of thing. They're introducing a lot of different engines and I'm guessing connect mechanics that actually make you feel like you're more in the game. There was true step technology, which really focused on like your movements of your player, trying to sidestep from the opponents, stuff like that. There was also player sense. I believe that was another one they talked about, where it just kind of goes back on that whole like, making the opponents and the people in the engine more realistic and responding to human movements and whatnot. So
basically, well, the true step thing they mentioned is for smoother animation, like you're running and whatnot. Player sense is so your opponents react on the you can react on the fly.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You can scan the environment and just really like you're a player, right? You're in there. This comes out in fall 2013. And basically, again, to sum it up, it's just all about making it even more realistic and even more like the real thing. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. If for whatever reason you don't want to play the actual sport, this is the next best thing.
That's basically that's what EA Sports motto should be. You don't want to play the real thing.
They used those quotes like it's closer to NFL football than ever before, and it's the next generation of Madden, and I'm like, okay, got it.
Yeah, I'll have something to say about that once we get through the other two titles, just to sum up EA Sports. But so after they covered football, they move on to football, but the international version. Soccer. So FIFA 2014.
Well, it's actually just called FIFA 14.
Oh, FIFA. Well, I had the apostrophe though, but
yeah.
So once again, I guess they're using the same kind of mechanics to make it more realistic, like you're in the game, or.
Well, basically, they first had a trailer with some of the actual players who talked, some talking Spanish, some in English. Comes out this fall, and once again, what they said what they basically said, and again I quote, the next generation of FIFA. And I'm like, okay, get it. So they had this Drake guy coming up. I don't know who it is. It seems like some
just a
rapper,
player, I guess.
Or I don't know who it is.
All of the above.
And Matt Bilby said that, again, that there's living stadiums. Then there's something called Pro Instincts. So basically that, again, your opponents think intelligently, and there's 4 times more calculation going on per second. And there's precision movement and elite technique. He used all those expressions. And pretty much, again, it sums up to it's more realistic.
Pretty much.
They used all those, they made all those words just to say it's more realistic.
Pretty much. So that was about it for that.
Yeah, and then we had the final game from the EA Sports thing.
Yes.
So Bruce Buffer, anybody who knows that name, good for you, right? He introduced John Jones, Vincent Henderson, and Dana White, who are actual players from UFC. This game comes out in spring 2014, and it's basically, they didn't really give an actual title. They just kept mentioning UFC.
Yeah.
The guy Andrew Wilson came out to introduce it with the actual players out there. It wasn't really an official title, just UFC.
Yeah.
And it mentioned an MMAI system and full body deformation, which basically, again, sums it up to more realistic. They basically show you, for example, for the full body deformation, they show you how bodies actually react when you hit them, like in real life, like because you react when you get hit.
Yeah.
You don't just do nothing. Okay. So basically, it's more realistic.
Yep, and that's basically it. I mean, not much else to say about that. That's basically all they said. They made a big deal about, how hard it is to get punched? Well, now you'll know. And then they also went over this whole thing about, hey, this was the original sport. Fighting was the first sport, and just all of that. So yeah, that's basically what it was. And they also mentioned that it'll be coming out in spring 2014.
Yeah, it was that spring.
Oh, you did say that? Okay. And that's pretty much it for the EA Sports section. I just want to very quickly, I'm not really rewarding them or calling them out or saying they're doing anything bad, but basically EA Sports have put themselves in a position where they can basically just say the same thing every year at E3.
It's more realistic.
Yeah.
Let's add actual players of the sports we're presenting, and then we're done.
Yeah. I mean, let's be realistic. I don't think they're ever going to make it to the point where it's like, oh, okay, so you're playing this game, which means you're actually playing like real life and football. I don't think they'll ever get to that point. It's always going to be this virtual simulation of it.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, they're going to keep on trying, and that's basically the road that they're going to be on for a very long time.
No. Just wait until they actually bring out those full-body gaming suits.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Yeah.
Then you're going to actually feel you're getting punched and shit. Like, yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it for EA Sports.
Yeah, it's in the game, and the game is...
It's in the game, and it's more realistic.
Yeah.
That's all you need to take away from it. Plus a bunch of actual players.
Yeah. They didn't have any golf this time. Sad face. Oh well.
Golf is a sport?
Hey, golf's a sport.
Yeah, I know, Dean. Anyway.
So we go back to the actual EA Office Sports. And we do get back into a title we talked about already on the Microsoft or Xbox conference. Battlefield 4. There were a few things, though, that weren't really mentioned in what we talked about before. Mainly the Commander mode, which from the trailer, not really trailer, but the demonstration they showed us, basically the Commander can authorize like these missile strikes and everything. And kind of a unique feature, I guess. Another thing they mentioned was the Battle Log social network. Integrating social networks in their games, which I approve of. People have been doing that a lot more for other games. And
also mentioned Levolution.
Yeah, Levolution. That was the key word they used.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that actually is. They didn't really say.
The evolving of levels. Like, I don't know.
They also said, actually, unlike what we said in a Microsoft video, which it was only on like on ships and stuff, they actually mentioned that you can play in air, land, and sea. And they actually had a demo of you being in a city, like in a high-rise building. So hey, apparently it's not just Battleship 4.
Yeah, so glad they made that distinction now. So that's good.
That's something additional to what we said in Microsoft, I guess.
So yeah, something new.
Okay.
And then they actually closed with one more title.
By DICE. Which it just showed a trailer at first, just part of a person, like a tattoo. And I didn't really play the series, mind you. My first reaction was this Mirror's Edge? And surely enough, it was.
It was. They didn't give it an actual name yet. They just called it Mirror's Edge again.
Mirror's Edge, and the date. This is gonna be funny for most of you guys, anyways. And we're like coming when it's ready, and I'm like, good job there.
Yeah. That's what Duke Nukem Forever should have done when it's ready. Yeah. Or whenever they make a Zelda title, just come out when it's ready. That's basically. It's
very distinct.
It's a universal release date that you can always use.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they showed that little trailer, and there's apparently another Mirror's Edge coming out.
Yeah. And that's it for EA.
Pretty much.
This was kind of short, so we'll probably be putting in the Ubisoft conference along with this.
Maybe, depending
on how long that is. But
we didn't do that one yet, so
yeah.
We'll see.
So final thoughts? You?
Final thoughts. It's more realistic.
That's pretty much it. That's all.
I don't know. Personally, I usually just watch EA. It's not like, I mean, in a lot of cases it's crossover because they've already presented their games in other conferences like Microsoft or PlayStation or so anyways.
Yeah.
And the few sports titles they have, it's, it's like, okay, cool, thumbs up, moving on.
Pretty much. They didn't do anything to disappoint me or anything. They did do something to wow me at the very beginning with Plants vs. Zombies, and that was pretty cool, but for the rest of it, it's alright. I have no complaints. And
I'm always neutral hurts
Yeah.
both EA and Ubisoft because it's just like, okay, they're kind of there, you know, because they usually tie in with the others somehow.
Pretty
anyway.
much, yeah.
There's nothing to be expected, to be disappointed or angry or happy about. Really, it's kind of there. It's like an extra.
They did what they were going to do, I guess.
Usually for me, it's just like an extra piece of candy to give you.
Yeah. That's a good way to say it.
Something like that. So,
And also, I want a zombie suit or mask or head or something.
All right, we're gonna get Slim a zombie mask now, and then this is pretty much it for EA.
Okay, well.
All right.
Thanks for joining us, and see you for the next one.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
FiyahKitteh.
And hello everybody, SlimKirby here.
And we are back with more E3 coverage.
Yes.
And this time it's Ubisoft's turn.
Mm-hmm.
So we had about 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, rough estimate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The conference is a bit longer in case you want to go watch it when we link it. You can skip to pretty much like half an hour in because first they have that pre-talk. Unless you're into that, obviously.
Yeah.
Could be. Who knows? Alright. So, we had a nice opener.
Very nice opener. In fact, I actually called it the Ubisoft concert at first.
Pretty much. Because Ubisoft likes to do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We had Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know who that is, shame on you, go look it up.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
And he presented or showed Rocksmith 2014.
Mm-hmm. I believe they went over Rocksmith a lot last year, and this is the 2014 edition. And on this edition, they have a new session mode, which allows you to jam with a kind of a AI-like band that actually reacts to all that you play during the session mode by guitar. So it looked very interesting.
They basically had the subtitle Rocksmith 2014. The all-new 2014 edition, the fastest way to learn guitar.
Yeah, they said that like 5 times.
At least.
At least.
From what he showed, it was pretty much completely voice controlled.
Yeah, it really was.
And apparently, according to Jerry Cantrell himself, their new single Stone will be on there too, and it's coming out in October.
Mm-hmm. So very soon.
It looked pretty good, except I'm personally not interested in learning guitar anytime soon, so...
Yeah, I personally stick with the Guitar Hero and Rock Band games, but, you know, still for those...
learn guitar.
For those who want to learn guitar, this would be a pretty cool experience for you.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to say anything else today?
Nope, I think that's about it.
Okay. And then after that, we had our host coming in, Aisha Tyler, with an awesome shirt. The hashtag girlwood. It's apparently a thing now.
Yeah.
Awesome. I approve. That's great.
Yeah. She was very funny. She was a great host.
She's pretty weird. She like always makes those jokes, usually of sexual nature.
Yeah.
And then she moves on so quickly, nobody has any time to laugh.
Yeah. I know, but she was enjoyable though. She was.
Oh, I like her. I like her.
Yeah.
Also, she was a giant. My God.
Oh God, yeah.
She was at least one head taller than everybody who came onto that fucking stage.
Yeah.
So yeah. Alright. So we had August 20th, which is pretty soon. We have Splinter Cell Blacklist.
Oh, yay!
And they said that there were going to be multiple co-op missions. And there was basically like a mode, Spies versus Mercs.
Yeah, Spies versus Mercs.
Pretty much. Yeah. I guess if you're into Splinter Cell or games of that sort, that's your thing.
And it's coming out in a few weeks, so...
Yeah, pretty much. A pretty good opener too.
Yeah.
Like for the first thing to show.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, do you need to say anything else?
Nope.
No. It was pretty quick actually.
It was very quick.
It was just a little trailer and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
They were kind of sparingly with their info anyways. Actually.
Yeah.
They showed a lot of stuff, but they didn't really say a whole lot about anything really.
It was mostly trailers, not as much gameplay, but when they did have gameplay, they showed quite a bit of it.
Oh,
so.
almost too much. My God.
Yeah.
Anyway, so after Splinter Cell Blacklist, we had it's coming out on September 3rd.
Yep.
Rayman Legends.
And they're claiming it's the biggest Rayman ever with like 180 levels or something.
Actually, I have the exact quote here. Biggest and best Rayman game ever. That's one hell of a statement.
Pretty bold statement right there.
We had a girl Viking character in the trailer. She's pretty cute.
Yeah, she was.
And she had a lot of chest.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
For a very small character, that was quite a lot of chest.
Yes. We had pirate enemies, we had zombies, and there was a competitive multiplayer mode. And in the trailer, I quote, epic boss battles. Over 120 levels.
Oh, 120.
There are also going to be musical maps. I'm pretty sure if you've played Origins with those guitar levels where you make music, that's probably what they meant.
Probably, yeah.
I'm assuming it's September 3rd. I know I was going to be excited for this one.
Yes, me too.
We know somebody.
Yes,
yep.
we know. We know too much.
Hey, Scoots! Anyway. Do you need to say anything for Rayman?
No, that's about it.
Are you a Rayman fan?
I actually haven't played any of the Rayman games. I really want to, though. Kind of been behind on that.
I think I've played the very, very old one.
Oh, I haven't even played that one, so.
I don't know though anymore. My brain.
Yeah, that's like the one platformer series I still need to try out. A lot of people tell me I'd like it.
Well, we'll see, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, the next one is actually pretty cool. We liked it.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it, and the premise, the concept, the trailer, everything about it.
It's called The Mighty Quest for Epic Loot. Notice how they use epic in every freaking game description.
I know, everyone's using that now.
So Louis Pierre told us a little bit about this. Basically, the gist is you make your own castle, you fill it with guards and traps, and then while your castle is being guarded, you go to other castles and try to steal loot as much as you can.
Yep.
You have different heroes that you can use, and the trailer was actually pretty funny because it was like an interview with the game characters.
Yeah.
And he kept like getting screwed over.
Getting hit by his own traps and then...
Exactly, stuff like that. It was really nice.
It was very comedic, very comedic.
It was really neat. And they also mentioned a website, themightyquest.com, where they have just finished a closed beta.
Yeah.
You can join for a free beta.
Yeah, the beta's free, so...
Yeah, so you can go there. We don't know when it's coming out or what else is gonna happen with this. Like, we don't really know anything technical, I guess. But I guess if you want more information, you should probably check that website.
Yeah. Looks really fun, though. Definitely check out the trailer and stuff in the description, because...
It looks
very fun. Looks fun.
That kind of spiked my interest. Especially because those little guard monsters are kind of cute. They're like crossovers between dragons and toads and like really weird.
Yeah.
But cute.
Very cute. After the mighty quest for epic loot, we got a very, very, very short segment about
another epic game, right?
Of another epic game that I was actually really excited about last year. South Park: The Stick of Truth, which is actually coming out this holiday season. Well, that's what they said. They said that might be any holiday season. They don't know how it's video games.
Yeah, Cartman was like, this holiday season, probably. Or any holiday, anyways.
You know how video games go.
Yeah.
But they didn't really show any kind of gameplay. It was just another basic small trailer, and didn't really even show much gameplay at all. It was just...
Oh, I did take a few things from it.
What?
Well, first of all, they said, new publisher, same South Park. First of all, that's what they said, so apparently they have a different publisher. And since the trailer contained the guys dressed up in RPG character cut up.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it looks kind of almost a bit like a spoof on, you know, well, I don't want to say World of War character or anything, but any of those RPGs, because they were all dressed up in different classes.
Yeah.
You know, wizard and all that stuff. So,
possibly.
Who knows?
Yeah, and they didn't give much information, which I'd really like to have, but...
It's kind of weird. They're bringing out this holiday and giving no information.
I know. That's what a lot of the games felt like for this conference, but
maybe that's why though, because it comes out soon anyway. So
probably.
I don't know. Your guess is as good as ours, so hey, go ahead and share your theories.
Yeah.
Especially after you've seen the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So after that, we had Filippo come out. He's a big guy there at Ubisoft, if you know it. And he introduced something, or actually Julian Garrity introduced that. He just came out to say hi, basically.
Hi.
Yeah, that's how it went, pretty much.
Yeah.
They introduced a game called The Crew, which comes out in early 2014.
Mm-hmm.
It's apparently, from the looks, it's an online title. Well, it's pretty much an online title anyways. And there's basically, this is what they said. There's gonna be more variety, because you can go through forests and mountains and sand dunes. We probably should say at this point it's a racing, kind of a racing game.
It's kind of a racing, Need for Speed type of title. Lots of like missions and street races and stuff like that.
So basically it said there was gonna be open ground.
Mm-hmm.
You can have lots of customizations, you can strip your car down, even to the engine and more, and you can put anything you want on it.
Mm-hmm.
The entire game is online to blur the lines between, single player, co-op, versus whatever the hell.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the game is about collaborating and competing. There's 4 people in a group, and you can
compete in missions together, and then you can actually compete against other crews, as they call them.
Exactly.
So it's basically kind of your own street racing crew of sorts. I was actually really interested. I'm really interested to see what will come of this game. I like these kinds of games where you just like drive around, compete in races and stuff like that. And it looks pretty cool, especially the cooperative parts of it too. So it's coming out early 2014. I think you said that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that.
They showed a lot of footage. I almost felt like they showed a bit too much. Because they just, basically they didn't even show much of the customization at all. They just showed how somebody stripped down their car through the engine, and that's it. And they showed just them, like 4 guys who were a group, driving around a city pretty much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's kind of boring. I mean, they should show some customization.
Yeah. Speaking of customization, can't you do something with like your tablet or iPad or something where you can actually customize? Like, didn't they give the host that and had her go back screen?
Yes, they gave Aisha a tablet, an iPad, was it?
Something like that.
And she went backstage to make a car, like a customized car, and apparently after she was done, it was in the game, so you can apparently go cross-platforming there, but yeah.
That's something I've noticed. A lot of these games seem to be cross-platforming with like the iPad and all the tablets and stuff like that.
Yeah, it seemed like Ubisoft was all about, here, you can use this on your console or computer and your freaking mobile devices.
Yeah, mobile devices.
So pretty much Ubisoft is the cross-platform thing compatible.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, that's pretty much...
Yeah, I think that's about it for the crew, so we can go on.
Then we had Dominic Gay, and that's G-U-A-Y, and that's the other thing.
Like Paraguay and Uruguay.
Yes. Who came out and talked about Watchdogs again, which they already talked about in prior E3s, like last year pretty much. Basically, the premise is that you can hack into pretty much anything. You have the power to hack into anything. And you can basically, through that, you have the power over people, and you can use it however you want, like for justice or for to screw them up or whatever the hell you want to do. Basically, turn into a vigilante and do whatever the hell you want to do. And they showed a little trailer, which didn't have real gameplay or anything. They just showed a trailer with a little bit of quote-unquote story, I guess.
Yeah.
And the only thing they said was more comes soon. So they didn't give a date still or nothing.
Nor did they really talk about what soon means, but just wait around, they'll have something, I guess.
It's kind of like, okay, they showed it last year already, they showed it this year again. It's just kind of like, here, keep it in mind, but they didn't say anything else.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kind of weird, though.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me think, okay, like, what? Like, do they just want to spend a lot of time on it and make
Probably.
it really, really good, or is something not working out, or what's going on?
That's usually something what video game developers do. They just want to keep going through the game and make it better, or maybe something doesn't work and they have to refactor it.
Maybe.
That's usually how it goes.
It sounds interesting, but the trailer didn't really, personally, didn't really, quote unquote, turn me on.
Yeah, not really. It just seemed like another little, oh hey, here's this, but we're not showing the gameplay, just showing like kind of a trailer of sorts.
It was too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are you ready to dance?
Maybe.
Because Just Dance 2014 is coming.
Well, in the holidays anyways.
In the holidays, yes.
And hey, guess who's on it? There's Psy, and there's Pitbull, and there's Nicki Minaj, and there's One Direction, and God knows what else.
Mm-hmm. And another one of the things they mentioned is that it's actually on all next-gen consoles, because I believe it was just on the Wii before now, so.
They also said it's the next generation of Just Dance, so everything is the next generation right now, apparently.
Yeah, and I believe this was kind of a feature they talked about last year, but there's like this whole DJ and party master aspect of it, where you use like the mobile device, or for the Wii U's case, the Wii U screen controller to like pick songs and be the DJ and the party master and whatnot. So
yeah, they mentioned a party master. They said there was an on-stage mode. There's a 6-player dance.
Yeah, 6-player. That's another thing.
You can go nuts. It's remember, it's the next generation
of Just Dance.
Yeah, that's seriously funny. Well, we don't really need to say a whole lot about this game anyway.
Not really,
so
but it's coming out soon, so.
Yeah, holidays, and there you go. Wish for it for Christmas, for your Christmas party at work.
Yeah.
Or at home.
Both.
Have grandma dancing background.
Woo!
Alright.
Okay, well, the next thing they kind of went over was more stuff with those crazy little Rabbids.
It's called Rabbids Invasion, the interactive TV show, because it's gonna come to Nickelodeon, and apparently you can interact with it.
Yeah.
They showed a little bit of. Oh, it comes out soon, by the way.
Yeah.
They showed a little bit of how it is, but I don't know what to think
I
about it.
was confused most of the time, because like the person who was talking about it was all like, and this is this game, and this is what you want to do, and it's like I couldn't even tell from the footage what they were doing.
It's basically kind of supposed to be like, okay, you watch this TV show, and there's gonna be moments, like scenes in the middle somehow, where you can interact with. At one point, they showed that you had to scream with a rabbit, actually, not at a rabbit, with a rabbit, to, you know, progress, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what to think of that. Like, I don't know how much you can actually play, how fun it even is, because I remember those rabbits came from, you know, Rayman. Usually after a while, they get kind of repetitive, so I'm like, I don't know what to think. I
have no idea. I was confused the whole way through, and you know, in thinking about how this game or whatever is supposed to interact with this TV show, like, I mean, that just begs the question of like remakes, or not remakes, but reruns of TV shows. Like, are they gonna have like something interactive every time that show's on, or I don't know. Like, again, it was just so confusing. They didn't really explain the technology very well, and it was just kind of, I don't know.
The only thing we did take from this is that the Rabbids logo looked an awful lot like the Pokemon logo in that way.
Yeah, a little bit.
That whole yellow, dark blue thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much all we took from it, because
the game itself was confusing.
It just came as fast as it went again, basically.
Pretty much.
We don't know what to think of this. If you want to check the trailers, go ahead and let us know what you think, because we're kind of confused.
Yeah. So, you want to talk about Assassin Pirates?
Yeah! The next title, Assassin Pirates. No, not really. Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. You basically are a pirate.
Yeah.
So, you basically board ships, you find treasures, you go hunting. Well, you don't have to do all of that. You can, as he said, as Jean said, he's like, you can play it the way you want. So you can either do all of that or just specific parts or whatever. There's also more. I didn't catch everything. He mentioned it so fast I had trouble writing it down.
Yeah.
But basically, it's Assassin's Creed on a boat.
That's, the 2013 or 2014 are like the years of boats, I guess. All the games are now going to boats. A while ago it was space, now it's boats.
I did really like the music though in the trailer and the in-game footage.
Yeah.
It looks pretty awesome too. But other than that, I'm not sure what to think of it yet. I'm not exactly a fan of pirates, but I also don't hate them, so
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Like, did they show in-game footage? Because it seemed more like a trailer and then like a music video.
No, that was in-game footage with music.
It looked more like a music video to me.
Nope, it was in-game. He said so.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but it looked pretty nice. The music was awesome. I kind of wish I knew what those sounds were called. Maybe I should.
It's like one's like turn your head full circle or something.
Yeah. It rocked really, and
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but I don't know what to think of yet. I'd have to see more footage. The Assassin's Creed series, I actually like it. Now people are gonna be shocked.
Kitty likes Assassin's Creed?
Assassin's Creed?
I stumbled over my words. Get over it.
Good job. Okay. Anyway, first time he stumbles over anything else.
Yeah.
You need to say anything more about Assassin's Creed?
No, not really. Again, I just kind of want to see a little more about it before I don't know. I didn't feel like it got enough footage from it or much information about it.
Yeah. Okay.
So now we're going to move from boats over to motorbiking.
Yes.
They announced 2 new Trials games, Trials Fusion and Trials Frontier. Trials Fusion is going to be the Trials game on all next-gen consoles, and Trials Frontier is the new mobile edition. And motorbikes.
Platforming.
Yeah, motorbikes.
So yeah, I want to mention this because Trials Fusion is on the next-gen consoles, which means 360, 362, One, PS4, and PC too. So
yeah,
PC too.
That does bring up kind of a outside argument. Why aren't they putting these on Wii U?
I don't know.
It seems like all of them are like all next-gen platforms, and they don't even mention Wii U, and I don't get it.
There wasn't too much on Wii U from either EA or
not really.
or anything.
And like last year was like the exact opposite. It was all about the Wii U for everybody.
I don't know. I don't know why. I can't tell you.
I guess we'll have to ask Nintendo about that.
Maybe it's just kind of weird to do that. I mean, it's a motocross kind of game where you do tricks and stuff, so maybe it's just not good with the Wii U come out.
Maybe, possibly.
I have no idea. And in case it comes out in 2014 and it's compatible between the mobile and the console version. Again, cross-platforming here.
On motorbikes.
On motorbikes. That's pretty much all we got from this.
Pretty much, yeah.
Personally, I didn't think it looked too awesome. I think there are probably better motocross do some tricks games.
Yeah. And there is that Trials Evolution on Steam, so maybe check that out. I don't know.
But I don't know, it's just my personal opinion here. So, yeah.
Okay.
Well, then we had one last title. From Massive Entertainment. This guy, I didn't catch the name.
I don't think they really even announced the name.
They did. It's just that it was kind of weird spelling.
It was like ba.
It was called Nicholas. Not like you spell Nicholas.
Yeah, Nicholas.
It's from Sweden or so. So we have Tom Clancy's The Division for PS4 and Xbox One. It's basically, the trailer was pretty cool. It's one of the scenarios of, the world goes down to hell and how do you survive and what do you do kind of scenarios. It's sickness spreading over money and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The trailer was pretty cool, but it's the gameplay they showed was, for me anyways, it looked kind of confusing. Like you had a skill menu at some point and it looked just like a mess. Like
yeah, they try to do this thing where it's like it kind of goes with the background, like it's almost transparent, and
Right.
I hate when games do that. It's like you can't really read it unless you focus on it super hard, and it's just...
Yeah, there's no real menu like background. It's just like one of those watches that
Yeah.
has a what's it called?
Hologram?
Yeah,
or...
holograms, this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be an RPG. It has an open world and it's online. It looked like you would need to have spend a lot of time on getting into it.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because again, that skill menu looked confusing. The map looked confusing because you were standing in the map and it was like
yeah.
around you, and I'm like, how the hell does this work?
Yeah, it just looks like one of those other tactical, like, third-person shooter games almost, I guess, where it's just like, oh, you join your friends and you take out these enemies and whatnot.
Really, the trailer was cool and the story was pretty interesting, but the gameplay just looked weird. Plus, I still feel like they kind of showed a bit too much of it.
Yeah, that was another example where they showed way too much. And
they stretched it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's all they announced. That's all they showed.
Mm-hmm.
As we said, barely any Wii or Wii U stuff.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, which I don't care really. But
you don't mind, but
yeah.
I don't know. I don't mind either. It's just kind of confusing because they were all about putting everything on the Wii U now. Now it's just like they didn't even talk about it.
Well,
whatever.
Pretty much it.
Yep.
General thoughts?
Ubisoft? Ubisoft, I don't know, you could probably tell some of my thoughts. There were a few games I was really excited about, like the Mighty Quest for Epic Loot and The Crew, but aside from that, I don't know. It was just a lot of stuff, but barely any information. And all of these trailers, but not really any gameplay. When they did have gameplay, it was just redundant and
Just
too long. I don't know, I wasn't too impressed, honestly. If anything, I thought EA did a little better.
Well, it's like I said in the EA video, it's Ubisoft and EA both are just kind of like this extra candy you get when you go buy something at a store or something. Your free candy here.
Yeah.
Your complimentary piece of candy or something.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like an extra for me personally because the big ones are obviously Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony. I mean,
pretty much, and then that's a good way to look at it too, because I mean these are just all software companies. Like they don't just do for one system. This is for all of them.
Exactly. They basically just work together. That's pretty much it.
So yeah, they're always gonna have kind of a weird selection, and I think people are gonna focus less on those and more on the big ones. So
yeah, I don't know. Well, so what? You personally just thought it's kind of
a few titles that really caught my eye, but just that really. They just caught my eye. They didn't really say much about them. So.
Well, personally, I like seeing Aisha again.
Yeah.
Her freaking jokes that nobody can react to because she moves on too quickly.
Girl would.
Yep, girl would. She was excited about pretty much everything.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny. It was nice to see all those other people again from Ubisoft or from companies who work with Ubisoft anyways. It almost does kind of hit a bit home because they're all French people.
Yeah.
So I'm close, right?
Yeah.
Location wise. So kind of like, you know, it's like seeing old friends or something. I usually like seeing Ubisoft stuff just because it's like seeing old friends again. The game selection, again, I see it as an extra candy. And I feel like people should probably see it that way. You know, like just something you get extra for free. And I did like the Epic Loot thing.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
We might after we get done with all these E3 things, we'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I would be curious to see how you can. That would be it seems like it would be a good title to play on Steam too.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll probably see it on Steam at some point.
Maybe, who knows? So, yeah, it was just there. It was there. I don't need to rate it. It's like yay. It's there. It's extra candy.
Nom nom.
It was good. What it was.
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Slim is good at this, you can tell.
Yeah.
Anyway, would love to hear you guys' thoughts and theories.
As usual, we'll have links to all the trailers and stuff in the video description, and of course to the actual conference itself. So
yeah, if you didn't see it.
Didn't see it? Want to check it out again?
And again, you can pretty much skip the first half hour, unless you're interested in that pre-talk.
Yeah.
And in the end, there's another 10 to 20 minutes of after talk, so
Yeah.
it's really just 1 hour and, what did I say? 1
20.
hour 20, so. Alright.
So yeah, that's gonna be it.
Okay. So, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for joining, and we'll see you in the next part.
Bye, yo.
Bye, yo!
Don't forget to leave your thoughts, share this video with a friend, and subscribe to not miss out on any more fun stuff. As always, thanks for your support. Bye, yo!